Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, there is one skill, one tool that if you actually have is a major fucking key in creating a life of more. And that skill is this: the ability to be able to adapt to stress. Now, many of you know that stress, although is a way of life, although is not uncommon, although is not something that we can really say, oh, if I just didn't have stress in my life, right? Like, you're going to have stress. It's what is. It's how life is. But the biggest piece of this, and what I always found crazy, when I was in practice as a chiropractor, I would often have patients say that, if I just didn't have stress in my life, Dr. Karen. And it's like, well, what planet do you live on? Because, like, stress is going to happen. So it's not about, if I just didn't have the stress, everything would be cool. The key is your body able to adapt to stress? If it can, great. If it doesn't, you're screwed. Because that will mean every time that some kind of bug comes along, every single time that you have a stressing that happened within your life, it's going to affect your body physically, it's going to affect you mentally, it's going to affect you emotionally. So what's interesting is, as I record this podcast right now, I'm feeling run down. There's been a lot of stress in the last couple of weeks. Good stuff. It's just so interesting. I was about to say not so good stuff, but like stuff, really. It's not fucking good or bad. It's just simply stuff. It's things that have come up. And when it's been compounded on top of the next thing, on top of the next thing, on top of the next thing, I do have, for me, a breaking point for my body at times. And it's rare, like this feeling that I'm feeling right now. So like sore throat, I'm feeling kind of achy in my body. I actually missed boxing today, which like I never miss. Like, I love it. It's so hard. It challenges me. It humbles me. There might be times that if I know I'm going to be sparring, I'm feeling like a little bit nervous, but I don't back down from that, like, ever. But this morning, even though it was a group class, I texted my boxing coach, Rob. I just said, hey, dude, I'm not going to be there today. Like, I'm not feeling well. And tomorrow, my oldest son, Tyson, and I, who's 7, head on a plane to go to Calgary. And we're doing a program for him, which is going to help him with reading. Something called the Davis Method. And so we're going to be there from tomorrow's Sunday to next Friday nights when we get home. So I'm like, shit. I'm going to get on a plane and be away from home in a different, in a hotel and eating different food and all this kind of stuff for the next 5.5, 6 days. And on top of that, my big boy Tyson is feeling a little bit run down. I'm like, fuck, this is not, it's never great timing, right? To kind of feel run down. You don't go like, oh, I have this time off. It's such a great time for me to feel like shit and get the rest that I need and now I have all this extra time. I had no idea what I was going to do with this time, but here we go. It's like, it never works that way, right? Of course. But can you really adapt to the stress? Are you someone, sister, who's constantly getting sick? Constantly get injured? Are you not recovering well from workouts? Are you overweight? Are you carrying a lot of extra weight because you are simply not intentional with the food you're putting into your body? You're simply unconscious as to what's going on, and it feels like you woke up one morning and you're 50, 100 pounds heavier, and you go, how did this happen? Are you finding right now, too, that emotionally, it'll be like one little thing, it'll just like set you off. You'll go into a rage, you'll go into a depression, you'll, kind of like shut down and retract. You'll let stuff bottle up inside. You're unwilling to confront the things that go on. And so you think that if I procrastinate and I squash and I just won't talk about it, it'll just go away. I always found it interesting when I was in practice as a chiropractor. When I would ask them, like, what if you're trying to go? Well, nothing, because I thought it would go away on its own. It's like, are you fucking crazy? What shit ever goes away on its own? Nothing does. If you don't affect the cause of what's happening, shit doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. So is that you? Are you burying your head in the sand and thinking, well, if I just don't see it, it's like putting your fingers in your ears and saying, la, 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 I can't hear you, problem. Put your hands over your eyes. I can't see you. I'm just going to like push the thought out. Or using different tools that you numb. Alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, Facebook, fitness, food, to ignore the shit that's happening. And yet it's because you are unwilling and unable to adapt to stress. Emotionally, physically, those would be the two biggest places that's actually going to impact you, sister. See, some of the most amazing, successful, incredible humans that I know have been through the craziest fucking shit. Like with their marriages, with their businesses, with their bodies, with health crises, with their children. Like they've just had one thing after the other. And for some of you, you don't know their backstory. You just see the end result of where they are now. And see what those experiences in life do for a sister, the same way as if you're exposed to any kind of a bacteria or virus, is each time your body actually surpasses that, moves through it, it's stronger now, right? It's like, I know how to deal with that germ. Like, no biggie. It comes along again, like, we got this. We're good. Every single time that you go through something shitty within your life, you learn what you're supposed to learn from it, what you see within it. You become better, you become stronger, you become more resilient. This is really what we're talking about, right? Adaptation to stress, resilience. Can you get back up when you've been knocked down? Can you get back up? Do you choose to get back up? Do you keep saying like, I'm just going to keep going? I'm going to keep going because I know what I want and the results that I want to achieve. My boxing coach Rob said to me the other day, and he said this a couple times, and this is not to like pat myself on the back, but just to give you some context and example. He's like, you know what, Karen? He's like, out of anyone here in the gym, you are like truly the hardest working. It's like, there's like, you know, kids that are in fighting and stuff like that right now, and they've got fights coming up and they don't train as hard as you do. And it's not about the length of time, it's the intensity when I'm there. It's like, I'm all fucking in, right? I know that going at this pace, you know, having days where I was training the other day, I was like, I'm just not really feeling it. I'm feeling a little slow. I'm not feeling as kind of snappy and crispy and fast and all of that. And, you know, had sparred with someone and I haven't sparred for a little, like it just feels like clunky again. And what the hell am I doing? And see, every single time I put myself through those experiences, I get better. I become more resilient. I walk into that session sparring and I feel a little bit more confident because I've been there before. I've done this. Even though it's with someone different, even though it's a different experience, it's a different day. Adaptation to stress. Are you willing and able to adapt to stress? This is a big one, sister. This is a fucking big one. If you have this locked down, you will be unstoppable. So here's your more tip for today. Where are you not adapting to stress in your life? Like, is it happening physically? Are you constantly getting sick and run down? See, for me right now, with what I'm experiencing, I'm trying to think the last time I felt like this. It's definitely been over a year. Has it been 2 years? I don't know. And what often happens for me is like, if something happens, there's something my body's fighting through right now. I can feel I've got a little bit of a fever. I've got sore throat. It's kind of like, you know, phlegm coming up and mucus and stuff. It's like, it's good. It's my body getting shit out. I'm coughing a little bit. But typically my body will go through this stuff like very fast, very fast. And I know others that will say to me like, oh my God, I've been sick for 3 weeks. I'm like, 3 weeks? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the hell's going on? Your body has such a low adaptation to stress that like, your ability to actually heal is so, it's just so lower. You're lowered state of defense. Or they're constantly picking up whatever is kind of like, quote, going around, which we know that's horseshit, right? It's not about like what's going around. It's the fact that your body can't adapt to it. That's it. Your body deals with bacteria and virus all day long. It's what it does. It's how it fights. It's what your immune system's job is. But if it's in a lowered state of resistance, then you can't adapt. That's why you get sick. That's why you pick up, right? Or you catch that bug that's going around. It's not because it's the bug, it's because you are unable to adapt. So is it for you and your body physically, sister? You're not able to adapt? Is it emotionally? Is it mentally? Like, where is it in your life, and in what particular area? Business, your marriage, parenting, or your body? And so here's the second piece of this. What is one step you can take in the next 24 hours? Because when you make decisions, when you actually move on something quickly, it will happen. If you sit on this shit, it'll never happen. That's simply the way it is. So what is one action step you can do today in the next 24 hours based on the area of your life that you said that you're not adapting well to? What is one action step you can do to make that better? 1% better. So if you're someone who you're going through like a major healing crisis, chronic disease or something, for you to say, I'm going to go from like 10% function, if that's where you are right now, to like 100%, I'm going to do it with one action step. Of course not. That's ridiculous, right? 1%. Just 1% better. See, because one action step upon the next, upon the next, upon the next, upon the next, you think that it's like one big thing that's going to make it happen. It's a lot of small things. It's all the unsexy stuff that I often talk about. So what is one action step you can do the next 24 hours that will start to create a better ability for you to be able to adapt to that particular stressor in your life? Stress isn't the bad thing. It's because you can't adapt to it, sister. It's when you get knocked down, you stay down. Because you either can't get up or you're unwilling to get back up. You master this, you fucking win this game. You win this fucking game. I'm telling you, this is a big one, sister. This is a big one. And I want you to journal this. I'm going to send you one for free. Now, I'm actually outside the post office. I just mailed, let me see, it was just a whole bunch of journals. I think it's 293 or 298 that I've mailed out. So almost 300 in 14 countries around the world, or 12 or 15. It's within that range. And I send this to you for free. You take care of a little bit of shipping. I do all the rest. And I put some other like really cool swag in that package. Why do I do this? Because I know how life-changing journaling is, sister. If you truly take this to heart, you make this as a daily practice, you include this in your More4 every single morning, you will begin to see insights and revelations that will never happen when you let it just run around inside of your head. So to get your journal, if you haven't gotten it already, I want you to go here right now, drkarenosborne.com/free journal. There'll be a clickable link in the show notes. In addition, make sure to watch the new movie of the latest Women Wanting More Live event 4.0, which was just a month ago here in Victoria, BC. You're going to see the stories of 5 incredible women and what is possible for them in 50 hours, literally from a Monday evening to a Wednesday evening. The transformation inside of them you're going to see in this movie is incredible. So to watch the movie, head over to drkarenosborne.com/The Evolution, which will be the new name of my live events, The Evolution. And a chance to apply for the next one for February 2018. And there are currently 6 spots remaining for that live event. So I will talk to you the next episode, sister. A life of more is one step away from you doing the fucking work and being able to adapt to stress every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.